wanted to. In fact, can you help me take something out of my bucket list?
Yeah.
This is a dream of mine for a long time. I know there's a lot of leaders here that could say the same thing. If you can have the lights turned on for me, if you can turn on the lights, please. Where's Zach at? Zach. Where's my can? Oh, there he is. Let's give a big round of applause for Zach. If you can turn on the lights for me, please. All right, here's what we're going to do. I always wanted to do this. We're going to do the wave. Starting from over there, finishing over here, and then we're going to bring it back. Can we do that? All right, here we go. Zach, you ready? All right, guys, here we go. Starting in the corner. Here we go. Start now. All right, bring it back. Bring it back. To be in Kayani, everything. This company is such a blessed company. We're such blessed people to be a part of such an amazing company. Be in business with the owners, the Hansons and the Taylors. Can we give a big hand to the Hansons and the Taylors, please? Yeah. Incredible. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Nieves, and I've been with Kayani now going on 20 months, and it's been such an incredible ride. Prior to Kayani, I used to own a fitness studio. I was also a Zumba instructor, personal trainer, and I loved what I did. But one day I had an incident where I broke both my feet. I ended up in a wheelchair. Long story short, I lost everything. And that's where I started. That's when Mr. James Bradford gave me a call and introduced me to Kayani. And thanks to following my mentor, Mr. James Bradford, and following Mr. Brandon Stevens, Mr. Mark Davenport, applying the culture in my business, and following his system. And it's now 20 months later, we have 20,000 distributors in my organization, pulling about $1.7 million in revenue a month. I mean, it's just an incredible, I can't believe it. It's amazing. And I tell you this not to really brag about the accomplishments, but I tell you this because I have the experience of being you. I have the experience of what it's like to sit back there in the corner. I mean, my first 3 years in network marketing, I made $800. Not really an accomplishment, right? I mean, so I sat so long, I was sitting so long in the back, I quit clapping. You guys get it? I was like, oh, another 20-minute diamond, here we go. And that's where I was. So I have the experience of being you. I know what it's like to be a brand new person. I know what it's like to go through the struggles, to not have a list. I know what it's like to all your friends and family not really believing that this is possible. I mean, I have that experience. My topic today is a topic of launching into action, launching your business into action. Let me share with you how my career went in the first 90 days of my business. In my first 38 days, I went J. So it took me 38 days to go J. And that's not like some type of record, right? It took me 60 days to go Pearl. So, all right. But from Pearl, I went Sapphire the next week, Ruby the next week, Emerald the following week, and Diamond the following week. Would you like me to tell you how I did that? Okay. I'm gonna be pretty straightforward. Is that okay? So it has to do with really going into massive action. But here's the first thing we have to look into. We have to look at the fact that what stops us from taking massive action. Because a lot of times we should do something, we could do something, and we won't. We don't do it. And many times the question is, what stops us from taking action? And how is it some people can take action while others don't? I remember sitting back there and I was thinking to myself, when my first experience in network marketing, if I can just get myself to do it. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yes.
If I can just get myself to do something, or if I can just get my team to take action with me. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about here?
Yes.
So we have to, it starts with number one, awareness. And if we're honest with each other, if we're honest with each other of what stops us, we already know what it is. And that's fear. And I can tell you that when I first got started in Kayani, I was afraid. I was afraid because I had an experience of network marketing of 3 years, and I was really working really hard, giving it everything I had, yet I only made $800. So I was afraid that that the same results, even though I was gonna put all my effort into this, and I was not gonna have no fruit. So I was afraid of that. I was afraid of people rejecting me. I was afraid of looking stupid in front of people. People telling me maybe something that I didn't want to hear. I had all these fears. All these fears normal, yes or no? So this is very, very normal, number one. But what I did to get myself to take action and to work with people to take action as well was I focused on understanding an emotional why for myself and an emotional why to people. In fact, I can tell you this, that you gotta find an emotional why. And there's two types of why. Something that motivates you and something that makes you angry. In other words, what are you sick and tired of? Or what are you sick and tired of? What pisses you off? Seriously, let me tell you something. One day, I just barely hit Sapphire. And this was something that happened. I barely hit Sapphire, and my mother calls me. She calls me crying, and I'm like, Mom, what's going on? And she says, David, they're making fun of me at work. They're making fun of me at work because I'm in Kayani. Ooh.
Oh man.
How many of you guys be like, oh, it's on, someone messes with your mom? You know what I'm talking about, right? It's like I remember driving, and I started crying with her on the phone. I wiped my tears off. I said, Mom, don't you worry, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. And I went straight to a Starbucks and I did a PBR with more passion, more enthusiasm than ever before. That right there, that just ticked me off. I was so angry at that. And I tell you this because you gotta get to the point where you hit rock bottom. What is it? You see, until the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change, people don't change. So you gotta find something that motivates you. Now, it doesn't really have to be something that pisses you off. Maybe you're already successful. Say, man, I'm good. I don't need to hit rock bottom. Well, what excites you? What motivates you? What is it that inspires you? What's gonna bring that passion out of you? Not only do you have to know this for yourself, but you have to know this for your people. This is so key in launching people into action. Knowing their whys, knowing what motivates you. For me, it's my children. You see that little nugget right there? I have 3 daughters. My mother. See, that brings passion out of me. That makes it a must. That brings excitement out of me. Me working hard for them. And you have to get to that. It has to be something emotional. It cannot be something passive. It cannot be material. It doesn't work that way. Guys, it has to be something bigger than yourself. Something that inspires you. You guys gotta get fired up.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like, seriously guys, let me tell you, you gotta get inspired. What does you on fire look like? What does you on a mission look like? That's who you have to be. You know what it is, you're just not doing it. So you have to look at what does you inspired look like and go take massive action. Once you know what you want, now it becomes a little simpler in taking the action steps that I'm about to talk about. But if you do not have a why, a clear emotional why, what happens is instead of action, you make excuses. Instead of courage, fear sets in. So you have to have an emotional why, and you have to know. So I don't even have to say nothing for this slide. Don't be that guy, all right? See that guy?